I talked about it 2 years ago, then Mayor never answered the question. How did you lose 90% state reimbursement for 3 major school projects? I still haven't got an answer 2 years later. For 6 years, he blamed the previous mayor for anything that went wrong. If it was raining out, it was Jim Sheets' fault. If it was sunny out, he was taking credit for it. Never accepted responsibility for any of his decisions. It's mind-boggling to me. We're paying $46 million more for high school because they fiddled and diddled too long. We lost Sterling's money completely. They didn't file an application on time. And Central Middle School, which we're about to go into a process of building, we're going to get 63% reimbursement because we're working with Tim Cahill's office. Could have been down as low as 33. But he could have had 90, and he lost to 90. When I look at Honeywell and I look at the school project, you're approaching $100 million. It's outrageous.
And the last school, 3 times this year, that broke down.
The Honeywell project's been a disaster. Let me give you a few examples. First of all, there was no engineering done. So everything was retrofitted, kind of pushed in place, and replaced the boiler for a boiler without addressing the needs and the problems in the building. A roof at Wollaston Library. Everyone familiar with the Wollaston Library branch? Little building, it's like a house, asphalt shingle roof. We paid $224,000 for a new shingle roof on that building. Whoa. Any builder would tell you, I could do it for $25 and make a good buck. The guy that filed the permit to do the work put on the estimate $49,000. So even if they justified $49,000, still far from $224,000 that the city committed to. The mayor signed that contract knowing the cost of that roof. Why? I haven't got an answer. Boilers, we had the Inspector General come. We got so fed up really dealing with Honeywell without getting answers. We called the Inspector General of the Commonwealth. They've come in to review and it's still under investigation. They've looked at a number of the school buildings. They brought experts in. Let me give you an example on the boilers. We did boilers through a number of school buildings and firehouses, some of which were ridiculous. We had a boiler that serves both gas and oil put in a building that only has one energy source, for example. New boiler at North Quincy High wasn't adequate to deal with the hot water for the showers. There's a number of shortfalls in the work. But put that aside for a second. The experts that came in and looked at every boiler in the city came up with a total cost of $2 million, which that should have been the cost. You know what we paid? $10 million. So we paid $8 million more for boilers than what the cost should have been. It's mind-boggling. It's outrageous. And when I look at and listen to my now opponent talk about, you know, the streets are crumbling. I'm only in 18 months. He was there 6 years, by the way. All of a sudden, the streets are crumbling in the last 18 months. The streets do need work. But by God, if you didn't blow all that money on those projects, we'd have money to work with to fix the streets. Deal with the infrastructure that's so badly needed to be dealt with. So there's a lot of issues that we've been working with. And from day one, I said to my staff, we're going to roll up our sleeves. We're not going to play the blame game. But now that my predecessor's back in the ring, we're going to assign the blame right where it belongs.